Ohtani makes history again. MLB's first 43-43 season. Congratulations, Shohei, on that one. Dodgers get out hit by the Diamondbacks, but get the win, but at a cost because losing Kershaw out early with injury. What does that mean for the Dodgers? Freddie Freeman is back and shows up in a big way. And we'll keep going on the Shohei count. What's going on with the Dodgers? Let's talk about it. Dodgers Digest. Hey, subscribe if you haven't done so. Need you to do so. We're putting out content daily. Everything going on with the Dodgers. Myself and Mike hammering it out one day after another. Make sure that you tune in. Dodgers Digest and you subscribe and get on the program as soon as possible. All right, let's get down into what's happening with the Dodgers right now. Ohtani makes history, MLB's first 40-43 season. So, what are your thoughts on that one? Comments below on that. Do you think he can go to the 50-50 mark? You think that can happen? What is it, 27 games to go? Can Shohei do it? 7 more steals, 7 more home runs? I mean, because, come on. How are you going to sell that if it's the first 48-47 season, or the first 49-46 season, or the first 46-48 season? Does that sell? I don't think that sells. I think 50-50 sells. And not that we're trying to sell something, but I got to think that if you're a Dodger fan, true blue, like I am, and I know you are as well, most of you anyways, you want the 50-50, right? You got to have that because it's never been done. And who better to do that? Okay, well, what does that mean for him? What is going on with Shohei? 27 to go. Now, let's think about that, okay? 27 to go. What is it? 3 against Diamondbacks. And then goes back into Anaheim and plays 2 games there, which you know he loves that ballpark. Could he come away with like 3 home runs? No one's even talking about that yet. But he's got 2 games in Anaheim coming up after 3 more against Arizona. And will he be in a position? To me, I look at it this way. Shohei at this point right now wants to hit maybe 2, possibly 3. If you could get 3 out of 3 games, great. But if you could pull away with 2 more out of the remaining 3 games in Arizona, that sets you up. That sets you up pretty solid for when you go to Anaheim and have 2 games there. And, you know, maybe you just have 2 incredible games where you put one over the fence in both games and there's 2 there. So, you see, you're creeping towards that number, the 50-50 mark, and that's what you want to see him do. All right, let's talk about Dodgers and what went on with yesterday's win. Look at the box score for that one. Brazier, 2.84, his ERA, but 10-9. Dodgers will take the win, 81-54 on the season, and look, they're out hit by Arizona. 13 hits to 10. So Dodgers had to bring some bats out there and made it close down at the bottom of the 9th with Arizona, snagging those 4 runs in there. But, man, you got to look at a day like that. You're all, whoa, that's a lot of hits. What happened with pitching? I'm glad you asked that. What happened with pitching? Take a look at that. It took a whole extra baseball team to take the win over Arizona because that's how many pitchers they pushed out there. Look at the numbers right there. The sad part is the one on the very top, Kershaw. Man, we don't want to see that, right? Is having problems with the big toe. Can't push off it. Not feeling good about that. Okay, now that brings me up. You know how I am. I'm going to usually always bring it up. What does that mean about Buehler? What does that mean about Bobby Miller? A lot of people are saying in the comments, we're saying that Bobby Miller needs to be sent down to Oklahoma. Buehler needs to be sent down to Oklahoma. I mean, what are you saying now with Kershaw? I feel like with the way Bobby Miller played his last start and Buehler, I still think he had a much better start in the last one too. I feel like you got to push those guys out there because you're going to need them. Kershaw's going to miss his rotation. I don't see how you don't miss at least a week from now because you want him healthy. So you look at that, how important it is. And then you look at the rest of the line. Joe Kelly had to come in. Look at that. Like, he had to come in early for Joe Kelly. He's not used to that. And as you can tell by the numbers, he was not used to that too as well. Got hit around a little bit. Then knocked his ERA up a couple notches, 5.20. Vesia still looking good. 1.77 ERA. Came in and did what he needs to do. Even got a K in that. Brazier, Kopech comes in too as well. 3.72 his ERA. And then you see Hudson. Look at the ERA, 2.53. Look at 2.52. Trinan, Banda. Look at those numbers right there. And Brazier, 2.84. We'd like that out of the bullpen. It sucks that you have to use 8 pitchers to get a win, but hey, the win is the win down the stretch. It's important to what is going on. All right, so we keep talking about what Shohei's been doing and all that happening. You got to like what he keeps bringing to it. 43-43. I'll go back to it again. That's not something that's like you're not really happy with that. And I'll explain what I mean. As a Dodger fan, 50-50 has never been done. And the number just sounds better. 43-43. Look, that's never been done either. But is that the reason for us to celebrate now? And so every time it's, 44-44. Can you believe it? Hey, even 45s, even though that has not been done, where does it continue to go? I mean, at this point, we need it to go 5-0. That's 7 home runs. That's 7 more stolen bases. If you can do that, 27 games to go. 3 more against Diamondbacks. 2 in Anaheim. Right? So I'm hoping, I'm praying, right? Every day. Let's talk about Yamamoto. I always talk about Yamamoto. I feel like this is Yamamoto injury update 4083. What is going on? Is he coming back? And every time something happens, like Kershaw or something like that happens, it just magnifies on, all right, when's Yamamoto coming back? Now we're depending on Buehler. Now we're depending on Miller. What's going on with Yamamoto? We need him back in the lineup. Okay, so he's going to throw a bullpen session here on the 1st, or tomorrow, or whenever this is. So then he'll be scheduled for another restart for OKC on the 3rd. Okay? So the goal is complete 3 innings. If he can get through a couple more outings, he'll feel comfortable enough inverting him back into the starting rotation. So the 3rd, what does that mean? Do you start him again? If he comes out, does good on the 1st, goes back, comes back out on the 3rd, does good again, do you send him back for another outing at OKC? Or do you just say, you know what? We got injuries. We need some help. That's now still out. Let's bring him up to the mix and get him in there. And that's what I feel like you have to do with him. Also, more information, of course, how great is this? Freddie Freeman back in and shows up in a big way. 3 RBIs. Big shout out to Freddie Freeman, bringing the lumber, getting the bat done. Also, Ohtani getting number 43. Will Smith hitting a home run, too, as well. Dodgers continue to do good. Arizona, I mean, this one's personal, right? This one is very personal to try and take this win against Arizona. That's 1 down. Got to keep going on this one for sure. All right, well, let's talk about who is pitching for tonight's matchup. Well, I feel good about this one, and you got to feel good too if you're a Dodger fan. Stone on the hill. Look at his ERA, 3.33 right now, 11-5. So he's been getting it done. 112 strikeouts. Not bad there. He's facing Kelly, the right-handed pitcher, number 29, 4-0 record. And ERA is pretty similar, just around that 4, so you can hit him. He's hittable. 32 strikeouts is what Kelly has amassed this season. So that's what we're looking at right now, but you still got to wonder what is going on. Is it going to happen? The quest for the MLB's 50-50 season. Love to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think the Dodgers, do you think Ohtani can do that? Comments below. And subscribe. Let's pick up the subscription number. We just hit up to 600, and it keeps rising. And that's thanks to you, all you Dodger fans out there. Well, that's going to do it for me. I'm Brad J. Subscribe to Dodger Digest on YouTube. That's going to do it. Always remember to bleed blue. Dodger blue.